Hello everyone, welcome to this video where I am going to explore your subconscious mind so that you can discover what it means to dream of your teeth falling out. That in practice comes to symbolize the loss of your ability to resist the evil that others do to you. Something that is explained because if you think about it, losing your teeth in the real world is a very painful process that implies, in case this happened to you, that you would have to hide or cover yourself until the moment you can solve that problem that pains you. And there is the key for you to understand this dream, and that in turn leads me to ask you the following question. Why do you need to hide from others? Well, that's what we are going to be talking about here. But before going into the analysis, in case you don't know me, let me introduce myself. My name is Robert. I am a psychoanalyst with more than 30 years of experience, and in case you want to have psychoanalysis session with me, or in case you want the psychoanalysis of one of your dreams, you send me an email to the one that I am going to leave you here below in the description of this video, so I can tell you how you can join my consultation. Now, back to what it means to dream of your teeth falling out. This is a very important dream because from the outset, it is revealing to me that you are going through a phase of your life where you are losing energy, which you used to do before. Have to deal with the problem of your existence, which in turn has generated that you begin to distance yourself from others, to hide yourself because you fear that if you show yourself in the world, the people around you could begin to observe your defects, which are expressed in the fact that you feel that your losses, what you lack, has become too noticeable for you, and therefore you have developed a mental structure that leads you to believe that if others realize what you lack, they might just decide to abandon you. And that is the symptom that this dream is expressing, that your greatest processes of anguish and anxiety are arising from the fact that you have begun to give too much importance to everything that you lack. It could be a lack of confidence in your job or in college, because somehow you perceive that you are not as efficient as you would like to be or as intelligent as you think a person should have to perform in the academic field, or also on the personal plane, where you have begun to compare yourself with other people on the physical plane, since somehow you have come to believe that your physical defects, the ones you think you have, disqualify you from interacting with others, or at least so that they can like it. That is why you are feeling so much anxiety at this moment, because every time someone approaches you, you will worry too much if that person has not realized your defects. And that's why unconsciously you are going to enter a state in which you are going to want to hide from others. This also applies in the case where some people are seen in the dream pulling their teeth when they take them out on their own without going to a dentist. Well, this situation is consistent with what I am telling you, because by removing your teeth, you are removing from your body those defects that you would like to get rid of. Which is very interesting because if you think about it, deep down, we are talking about your desire for maturity. You want to fend for yourself, but you can't do it because you feel like if you do it, you are going to have to face all the flaws that are overwhelming you right now. Something that is explained because it is a process similar to the one you experience when you lose your baby teeth. There is a change from something that allowed you to live in your early childhood to take what you need in this new stage of your life. Deep down, the loss of your teeth speaks of the desire for change, but framed in the impossibility of doing so due to the fear that arises from the pain that you may experience in the process. And this is what is most interesting, that in practice, you lived the last years of your life denying yourself the opportunities that life presented you, precisely because you refused to change, because doing so implied suffering pain. There is a structure of your mind, a psychic nodule, that leads you to think that the change was something undesirable, because doing so implied suffering too much. And that is the energy that at this moment is struggling to come out, but that has come into conflict with precisely that part of your psyche that represses the change, which is what you want. Because if you do, you could feel too much pain in the process. That's where all the quartz of your anguish, frustration, and anxiety are. You are going through a phase of your life where every time someone approaches and proposes change, you refuse by your own security. Something that used to work for you, you refused and obtained a certain emotional tranquility. But today, that no longer works for you. And for this reason, you will notice that when you experience these situations, you fall into a state of frustration precisely because what you want is adventure, change, which is not going to happen as long as you continue to fear pain. Now, the interesting thing about this matter is that the change is not as painful as you think it is, but it is your mental structure that has led you to see things that way. Now, when and why did this all begin? Well, as you have seen, in general, people who dream of the loss of their teeth are experiencing a conflict derived from the fear of the pain involved in changing, or more specifically, maturing. And this suggests that you were a person who was not allowed to grow at all, because somehow your parents got certain psychological benefits from keeping you in a state of dependency. You are the type of girl or boy that your parents to this day see as their 5-year-old son or daughter. And that's why unconsciously, due to their own conflicts, they sought for you to never change, because they felt that if you did, this could lead to you abandoning them. And how they did this? Well, by giving you signals that lead you to think that change, expressed by the maturity of your character, was something undesirable. They wish for them you had stayed forever in that childlike state. Of course, I am not saying that your parents did it out of evil, or even consciously. It was something they did because they really liked having a daughter or a son who was always there for them. But the problem is that that made you repress that state of maturity in your mind that today is struggling to get out. And that explains why in your interpersonal relationships, I mean, those you have with your friends or with a girlfriend or boyfriend you have had, this structure was also going to manifest itself. I was going to establish a mechanism that was going to lead you to always be one way. You are the friend who never changes, with which everyone feels very comfortable. But the problem is that you have reached a moment in your existence in which it is you who wants to change, because you need to mature. But in this process, your greatest source of fear arises precisely from not knowing what the consequences will be for you, and especially for the people around you, that will arise from this process of change. Precisely because your mind was brought up to fear change, which generates a great problem for you in the present, because that is exactly what you want most now. As you can see, this is a much more complex dream than it might seem. So you have to pay close attention in case you see yourself with your teeth falling. For the same reason, you already know that if you want me to psychoanalyze some of your dreams or have therapy sessions with me, you send me an email to the one that I leave you below so that I can tell you the way in which you can integrate to my consultation. And please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video if it helped you in any way, and share it so that others can access to this kind of knowledge. Have a wonderful day, and with it, the most beautiful dreams. Bye!